today. See how far we get here. So Grey Ooze, just be extra cautious and take off my metallic armor. And just my gloves at this point. What is this? A rock piercer. This looks like we can safely pray. Just keep track of that. So my thought is we are not likely to get reflection before we go into Sokoban. But what we can get is the various elemental resistances that will prevent us from getting killed by a wand. So the last two promising runs that we did were ended, the first one by a lightning wand and the second one by a fire wand. So if we get shock resistance and fire resistance, hopefully, even without reflection, we won't die. At least that's the theory. Magic resistance is a little trickier. We may just end up getting magic resistance from our quest artifact. We'll just have to figure out a way to deal with our quest nemesis, who is both a very powerful melee character and also a spellcaster. Put on the towel so we can get blinded. And here's another dwarf. Zaps. Oh, an oak wand. The wand hits you, so it's striking, I'd imagine. Yep. Did a decent amount of damage. What we can do is just we can jump, and we will just sort of get close to him with our jumping. Once you get adjacent to a creature, they will no longer zap wands at you. Oh, and as I say that, they actually do zap at me, so I guess that's not actually true. I wonder if there is some rule that that tells whether or not they will zap a wand at you. We got another object. We got Firebrand. Now this becomes interesting. It's actually a reasonably good sword early on. Not so good down in Gehenna when a lot of things you fight have fire resistance. I think we probably do not start using an artifact weapon. If it's Frostbrand, I might consider it. A wand of striking has some sort of niche uses. You can use it to break down drawbridges and things like that. Break boulders. So we took quite a bit of damage actually from that wand of striking. This is why reflection is so important. So, you know, it rarely happens, but every once in a while you'll have a promising run end due to a gnome with a wand of death in the mines. There's not much you can do about that if it does happen. Or a black dragon. Sometimes it'll be a chameleon that has transformed itself into a black dragon. Just clean up the level a little bit here, making sure that things aren't building up. So yeah, until we get reflection, we're really fairly fragile to a lot of different things. So pushing on to Sokoban may end up being important. We kind of have to weigh the pros and cons of going to Sokoban early before, very powerful creatures will spawn in the treasure room, or waiting until we get crowned or otherwise get the resistances that we can get, like cold and fire and shock resistance. Let's pray. All right, keep track of that. We have just one thing to price ID, so I think we'll hold off on that. Just checking the level with telepathy. Another rope golem. I think we found that this was pretty tough, actually. Let's go ahead and jump away. And we will use Molnir. We'll jump again. And then we'll throw Molnir at the rope golem. Soften it up. Fire some darts at it as well. Done. Yeah, AC4 means we're rather squishy. So we do have to be careful about things that have physical attacks that do a lot of damage. What's that, a shrieker? No, violet fungus. I don't think violet funguses convey any resistances. I think they're just bad to eat. I'll double check. Just poison resistance, but they're poisonous. And we already have poison resistance, so we'll just offer it. Gecko. See, usually, like, I think it's funny, like, the early creatures that you find, like a newt or a gecko. They're not giant newts or giant geckos. There's little lizards, as far as I can tell. There's a bat and there's a giant bat. So the regular bat is just a little tiny thing. Still pretty dangerous. All right. We might have to eat some food here. If we don't find more things to offer on the altar, we might just have to eat something. And we're weak, so let's go ahead and eat this lichen corpse first. I'll give us a few more turns to try and find something to sacrifice. And there's something. It's a white unicorn. Interestingly enough, it is in line with us currently. Unfortunately, we don't have Molnir wielded, or else we could throw Molnir at it. We can throw a dart at it. It's interesting that it's coming straight at us. It's because we're invisible, actually. So actually, that's going to make a big difference. We can more safely fight the unicorn because we're invisible. So we'll throw Molnir at it. I'll fire some darts at it. Last time we fought a unicorn, we almost died. It is no joke when you're at AC4. But our god's going to be extremely happy with us for sacrificing this unicorn corpse on it. And we can safely pray again. We also have another unicorn horn, and they're useful to hang on to for polymorph reasons. They can, every once in a while, will turn into a magic marker when you polymorph them. What else can we put away here? So we have like Giant Slayer and Ogre Smasher in our inventory just because we're going to sell it down at the shop. Firebrand, getting to that point where it's a little dangerous to leave it in a shop. Like I don't think it's unaligned. It's not intelligent, so like something can pick it up. Next thing you know, you're getting hit by Firebrand by some creature. Right, so I'm putting some stuff back into the box here. What can we put away? Just the unicorn horn for now. So you can safely pray, so I think we will go down to the shop and take care of price IDing that scroll and just selling some of this stuff. Actually, we're hungry already, so let's hang out. We want to pray on the altar, if at all possible. A golden glow, so we got a few extra hit points. I didn't actually notice how many hit points we had before, but usually get on the order of 5 hit points from the golden glow message. It makes a big difference. It adds up over time. Every little bit helps. So now that we have prayed, we can go down to the shop and take care of that selling stuff and identifying stuff. What is this junk on the ground? This is not junk. This is actually Molnir, isn't it? Just forgetting Molnir on the ground. Let's take off our gauntlets before punching the acid blob. Let's wear gauntlets of power. And offer the acid blob corpse. One thing you could do if you were really paranoid about creatures picking up powerful artifact weapons and attacking you with it is you could sell a box to the shopkeeper and then put the things that you don't want creatures to get into the box. Taking off our robe, wearing the mummy wrapping. We'll drop everything in the corner here. So definitely getting rid of Giant Slayer and Ogre Smasher. And I guess we'll sell Firebrand as well. A little on the fence about that, but we could use the money, 25 gold for Ogre Smasher, and even the game doesn't have any respect for Ogre Smasher and Giant Slayer. 25 gold to sell it. And this scroll is 38. So 38 at 8 charisma is let's see. Destroy armor. Confuse. Detection. Only food detection. Map or fire. So we could probably read some of these scrolls. Destroy armor, of course, is annoying, but if we take off all of our armor and read it, then we can safely identify it. And fire can be annoying if you have any potions or scrolls in your inventory. Oh, we're going to sell these wands too. So a wand of light. And we can price ID this other wand, which is either nothing or secret door detection. So 38 for a wand, it's probably nothing. It's either light or nothing, so it's nothing. So we'll sell it. We'll call it Wand of Nothing. Okay, put back our robe on. We have our pickaxe, so we can move on down to the next level. What are these things? There's a raven, I think. Raven blinds us. Raven corpse, we can pull it, bring it down with us to the shop. We'll apply the unicorn horn. And there's a brown pudding, a little bit annoying because it can rot our robe. So I think we deal with it from the distance. Let's wield Molnir and throw Molnir. And let's see. We can jump over here. Oh, we can't jump diagonally out of a doorway. I didn't know that. We can jump here, though. An obstacle preventing the jump. Okay. Anyway, we'll fire darts at it. I don't use jumping boots all that much, so this will be kind of a learning experience for me. It seems very good, particularly as a monk. We can get, magic missile and cast it pretty reliably. So being able to jump with our innate speed and put some distance between us and creatures and zap them with magic missile will be quite powerful. Put away some scrolls for now. I'm keeping the cursed things in my inventory because every once in a while while you are praying, your god will uncurse everything in your inventory. Okay. We need to sacrifice some more things. So soldier ants, like killer bees, maybe even worse than killer bees. They are fast. They do decent amounts of damage. They have poisonous stings. And we can enhance our martial arts to the final level, which is, oh wait, is this the final or is this the more skilled? So we actually have one more level we can go. We can go from master to grandmaster. Yeah, see, they're doing decent damage to us. We're down to 58. Yeah, that's no joke right there. So let's be careful here. Let's not make a mistake. We can jump away. And we can fire some stuff at them. We could actually use a wand here. Let's use the Wand of Cold just to identify it and to deal some damage. Killed one of them. We can fire some darts at the other one. You really don't want to die at this point in the game to soldier ants. Just carelessly. So yeah, going down to half health in that fight definitely feels like a reality check. Just remember, we only have 4 armor class. We're we're definitely very vulnerable to just basic melee attacks. How much gold have we collected? Just 1,300. So not anywhere close enough to get any protection from the priest in Minetown. I believe we also don't have a source of light. Oh, I had a raven corpse in my inventory I didn't know about, or I forgot about. Floating Eye and another... Oh, this is a peaceful gray unicorn. It's a little bit annoying. I mean, we're just going to let it hang out, I think. Your alignment penalty for killing a aligned unicorn is pretty bad. Oh, a wand. Okay. So let's engrave test this. All right, we will write something first, just in case it's polymorph. And we'll add to it no message. So again, we'll call this one Steel Wand, no message. Okay, a lizard. We already have a lizard corpse in our inventory, so we can sacrifice this one. And we can safely pray again. So yeah, camping the altar is not the most exciting tactic, but it's effective. And as a character like a monk, it can be deadly to push too far down into the dungeon before you're ready. So we have apes now. Pretty powerful melee creatures. We'll try and kill them right here on the altar if we can. And maybe we'll jump around and use our ranged attacks as well. Not too bad. We killed it, I think, in one hit. Just a yellow light. Okay. Can sacrifice these corpses as well. I'm blinded by the yellow light, but no big deal. Take a look around while we're blind. Might as well take care of this floating eye while we're blinded. And then we'll apply our unicorn horn to get rid of the blindness. We have another wand we can try and test out. Do the same thing next time we have a corpse. Another raven. It's weak, so we'll pray. Feeling good health again. We keep getting that message. I don't know what is being damaged. What could it be? If we only had finitely Craig's bot that answers messages about answers about messages. Good health again. Restored one or more attributes that had been lowered. I I didn't notice any attributes being lowered. Probably just missed it. Hopeful feeling. Just remember to mark off that we cannot safely pray. Nothing worse than making your God angry at you because you've prayed before you're ready to. Take a long time to get them to be happy with you again. So Urkai. Nearby zap. Okay. Usually means that they zap themselves with it. So very likely something like speed or invisibility. We won't really know if it's invisibility or not because we can see invisible anyway. But we can engrave test it. All right, so it's a wand of speed. So it's an we already have an 8 speed. It's gonna be worthwhile to keep this wand. The reason is the shades on Orcus Town can steal your innate speed. Gremlins can as well. So just having the ability to restore it is useful. Put my towel on, just check, see if there's anything around. Doesn't look like it. What's this? Just an orc shaman. A rune dagger. Probably a hobbit up there. Oh, there it is. Oh, okay, so we've identified a potion of full healing, I believe. Look at our discoveries list here. Potion of full healing is cloudy. Yep. We would be happy about finding an elven mithril coat if we were not a monk. As it is, we're not going to wear that. Okay, what's this? A lizard? Okay. And we can safely pray again. We're in a weird situation where we actually want to be crowned. We have a good supply of food. We really just want to get these intrinsics as quickly as possible so we can push on to Sokoban. I think the wiki recommends that monks don't get crowned because they get all of the intrinsics by level, I think, 17 or something. But level 17 is a long way away, and I think surviving to level 17 without the intrinsics would be extremely difficult. So I disagree with the wiki here. I think it is more important to get the intrinsics early than to wait until you're level 17 to get them. We may be shooting ourselves in the foot a little bit by going to Sokoban at, experience level 9 or above, because the creatures get pretty powerful that spawn down there. So yeah, it's a trade-off. Got more constitution. Always like to see that. All right, let's pray again. Got another spell book. This is another reason to be praying a lot, because the gifts of spellbooks is blessed spellbooks is very good for a monk. So now we have clairvoyance. It's sort of an interesting like alternative to magic mapping. It's only level 3, as opposed to magic mapping, which is level 5. As I said, with basic level and divination, I think we will never be able to cast level 5 spells. But I think now that we have clairvoyance, it may be worthwhile to start casting detect food just to train up our divination skill. And we may actually want to train up our healing as well, both to at least basic level. So my strategy for that will be to wait until we can safely pray and then just cast a bunch of spells until we get hungry. Another ape, I'm imagining. Yeah. Probably should have looked for something like an owlbear. Be a little more careful. Apes have rocks. I wonder if that's something they spawn with, or it just picked it up from the map. It makes sense to me if they were sometimes spawned with rocks. It's like an advanced ape that's experimenting with the tools. Oh, a brown mold. So this could be potentially good. Throw Molnir at it. No corpse. Been unlucky with the different molds and jellies. You're able to eat them even if you're maintaining a vegetarian conduct, and they can grant cold resistance, which we would like to get. Yeah, so I just need to make a decision here at some point whether to push on to Sokoban sort of like before we're completely protected. It's one of those catch-22s. Am I using catch-22 correctly here? But you need reflection to survive Sokoban, the end of Sokoban, but at the same time, Sokoban gives you protection or reflection. I think that's appropriate use of a catch-22. Hopeful feeling. Still can't pray. See what this scroll is. It's uncursed. And put away this junk. Let's see. It's pronounced homunculus. It's one of those, I think the imp that people thought or theorized your brain was like, there's some you're like living inside of your head and peering out of your eyes and controlling your actions from inside. I think that was where that comes from. But it can put you to sleep, which is dangerous if you don't have sleep resistance, but we do. Let's quickly put away some gold. Another yellow light. And let's just take a look around while we're blind. This is probably another ape. It's a peaceful ape. We'll do a little rounds here. We're going to kill this ape. I don't think we can carry that body back to the... Ooh, and I just killed a brown mold sort of accidentally. This is why you should always look before you step. It's never a good feeling to run into something without seeing it first. Not that a brown mold is particularly dangerous, even without cold resistance, but it could have been something that could have been fatal, like a floating eye. Crude dagger. We got some hill orcs coming. Let's bring them back to the altar. Blinded, so we can see there are 3 hill orcs. Come on. It's one disadvantage about being invisible if you're altar camping like we are. Creatures tend to just wander around. They don't come straight to you, so you can't lead them onto the altar easily. Sometimes I'll just put on my mummy wrapping to get around that, but at 4 AC, I think we're better off being invisible. We'll just kill these things once they're a little closer and carry them over to the altar. This is a giant beetle. They bite hard, but I think it won't be a problem. Did some damage to us. Another scroll we can identify. Hopeful feeling, so we still cannot safely pray. Put away all this junk. What are these things? We don't know. We can't see them. That means there's something brainless. So this is a gray ooze. Again, just take off our gauntlets. I don't think anything else we're wearing can be rusted or corroded. So I believe, and I'm going to double check, but I'm almost certain that a glob of gray ooze is vegetarian. But let me see. I gotta look at the vegetarian conduct section. Yeah, we can eat it. Eat it. We can eat it. We can't be vegan and eat it, but we can be vegetarian and eat it. And we're just gonna be going for the vegetarian conduct. Didn't get anything from it. Grey ooze has a chance of giving you different intrinsics. I believe possibly shock resistance or cold resistance. I'd have to look it up. Quivering blob, I don't think gives you anything, but let me check. Alright, sleep or poison, don't need it, either of those. Or just poison, actually. Still a hopeful feeling. And here comes a were-rat. We'll fire things at it. Just don't want to be cursed with lycanthropy. Where are you coming? Throw Molnir at it. Oh, it's too heavy because we're not wearing our Gauntlets of Power. So we're wielding Molnir right now. I think we hit it with Molnir. We've already failed our weaponless conduct. And another potion we can identify. So we're carrying around this Blessed Spellbook of Clairvoyance. We can put that away for now. Starting to feel hungry. I think we have not yet. All right. Another scroll of teleport, but this one's cursed. Yeah, we're not yet able to pray safely. So if we don't get something else to sacrifice soon, we'll probably have to eat another one of our food rations. We have a few more stashed away, though. We have 4 stashed away. So we're not in any danger of starving to death here. We're weak, so again, I think we need to eat one of these 2 food rations here. We're probably pretty close to having our prayer timeout expire, but is this a peaceful dwarf or no? It's just digging. In some ways, it's not terrible to have parts of your level dug out. It makes paths for things to get to you easier. So it did a bunch of damage to us with that pickaxe. Creatures with weapons are actually pretty dangerous in Nethack. Particularly when you don't have much in the way of AC. Still a hopeful feeling, so. Put away all this. Peaceful Plain Centaur. We'll wait until we are healed up before we go take care of that. All right, some more killer bees. These are probably less worrisome than soldier ants. They go down quicker and do less physical damage. Bunch of corpses here we can offer. Got 4 of them. Still a hopeful feeling. So God's making us work for this prayer timeout. Peaceful pony. I'm just working off the thought that peaceful creatures being on the level may prevent non-peaceful creatures from spawning. And I have no proof of that. I suppose we could look at the source code of the game to see for sure, but just clearing out the level. There's a blue jelly, so this could potentially give us cold resistance if we're lucky. Let's throw some things at it. Start with Molnir. And there's a corpse here, so let's eat it. Jellies are vegetarian, right? Pretty sure. You feel full of hot air, so lucky. Finally got the corpse and the cold resistance. So that's one of the important ones we can get. So now we just need fire and shock. And then we're feeling pretty good, or better anyway, about continuing to the end of Sokoban. At least those wands will not kill us. Hit by a crude dagger, so we get some more orcs coming. Just a goblin. Hopeful feeling. Wow, our prayer timeout is really very long. I think part of it is we're just finding not very powerful creatures to sacrifice here. I believe the challenge rating of the creature or difficulty rating of the creature may have something to do with how much your prayer timeout is reduced. I could be wrong about that, but that's my impression. A bunch of wolves. This should probably push us over the edge here. Just don't want to be surrounded by them. We can fight them one at a time. So we get to XP level 10. Sort of a mixed bag. I mean, we get more HP, but creatures get more powerful too, so I feel like hopeful feeling still. This is a very long prayer timeout. I think did our God give us a spell book or something? I wouldn't expect it to be this long. Here's a blessed potion of blindness, invisibility, detect monster energy. So I think we probably drink this one. Take a look. I think if we're blinded, we can cure that with our unicorn horn. We're already invisible. I believe we identified the invisibility potion. That's how we're permanently invisible. And the others won't be any problem. Let's actually cast detect food, and then we'll drink this potion. Did I drink it? I did, and nothing happened. So it's one of those annoying things where we have to figure out which one it was. So is this one here, the ruby potion, I'm pretty sure. Blindness, invisibility, detect monster, or energy. Are we detecting monsters right now? We are, right? Yeah, so it was detect monster. And did it self-identify? It did. Okay, great. Yeah, so we're seeing these on the board here, and there's a red mold over there, which is actually something we can safely eat and might give us the fire resistance we so desperately want. So we'll head over there. We are hungry. We may just be eating this food ration. And there's an elf that just spawned. Woodland elf. Potion full of healing is nice to have. So I think we throw things at this so we don't get burned by it. Killed it, but didn't leave a corpse. So, and this over here I think is a green mold. Yeah. We're weak, so unfortunately we have to eat yet another food ration. This long prayer timeout has forced us to dig into our dwindling rations, unfortunately. Drop the potion of full healing. It's uncursed. Oop. Put away the rest of this junk. I mean, Elven Shield is... I mean, if we ever end up wielding a weapon, then maybe we also wear a shield. But for now, I think we just stick with our martial arts. Up to 17 Constitution. And here is a Yeti. They're reasonably tough. They also are very likely to give you cold resistance. I don't know if it's 100%, but it's got to be at least 50%. We already got cold resistance, and we can't eat meat anyway, so It did like 10 points of damage to us in one turn. Ouch. Yeah, I think we're okay. Yeah, we kill it. Strained under the weight of it. Hopeful feeling still. Wow. Did we piss off our god somehow? Very unusual. A smoky potion, we went to price ID. And a scroll, we went to price ID. Alright, kill the gas spore. Kill the dust vortex. The other thing about going up levels is it makes buying points of protection that much more expensive. So for this character, where protection is so important, I think we're going to want to find the vaults and loot all the vaults. We could even go to Fort Knox or Ludios to steal all the gold there. I mean, just the more protection we can get, we basically want to get protection until the priest no longer gives it to us. Usually gold is pretty easy to find. Let's take a quick look at what gives us shock resistance. I don't think anything but being crowned is going to easily give it to us. Actually, brown pudding and black pudding will. Everything else is meaty, I think. Oh, so black pudding is meaty too. This is interesting. I think that's probably the devs being funny and thinking about an Irish breakfast or a British breakfast where you have black pudding or blood pudding. So it's just brown pudding and a gelatinous cube. Those are our two options to get shock resistance. Unfortunately, black puddings are the easiest ones to get because you can kick sinks to get them. And if we're maintaining this vegetarian conduct, we can't eat them. I sort of want to accelerate this process a little bit, just because I'm being worried about sort of the difficulty of creatures increasing before we get reflection. I mean, a chameleon appearing at some point in Sokoban and turning into a black dragon just ends your run right there. I don't know if there's much we can do about it. I mean, just having AC4 and not all of the 84 hit points and not all of the resistances can end your run too. So I think we stay the course and play it conservatively. I'm really curious why our prayer timeout is so long this time. We didn't kill a unicorn or anything. I think we killed a couple peaceful creatures. So now we're going into our reserves. So we're going to eat some of these food rations. Wait, what was that? Down to 3 food rations and these 2 cursed Lembas wafers that we're hoping to get uncursed. That's going to be the other thing that will push us on to Sokoban early, will be if we run out of food. When you're camping the altar like we are, that's supposed to not happen. You're supposed to be able to pray for food and nutrition and never have to dig into your food stores. I'm going to not attack these peaceful creatures just because I'm wondering if those alignment penalties are what are making this prayer timeout so long. I should really read up on it on the wiki, because I think my understanding of prayer timeout is pretty flaky at best. It may just be random chance, and we just happen to have an extra long one. I'm going to go to prayer here and just take a quick look at that paragraph. We actually have it recorded here. I think I updated that. There's actually a whole article on prayer timeout. The initial value of your prayer timeout is set to 300 and decreases by 1 each game turn. So 16,779, then it would actually be naturally 19,779. The exact amount by which your prayer timeout increases after praying is a complex mathematical function involving several random variables, causing the increase to usually range between 50 and 1,000, though it can be much higher on occasion. Your prayer timeout may be incremented further if you've done any of the following actions: being converted to another alignment through cross-aligned sacrifice, or praying at an altar not of your alignment. We've not done either of those things. And sacrificing corpses decreases your prayer timeout. And it's governed by the following formula. So if you're chaotic, it's the difficulty level of the monster times 500 divided by 24. If you're lawful or neutral, it's the difficulty of the monster times 300 divided by 24. So I guess chaotic players have it a little bit easier. Their prayer timeout is reduced by a larger factor. So, yeah, I mean, it just seems unusually long. So let's say if it was like 1,000, so like randomly, just very high. So we'd have to wait until. So even if it's 1,000, like maybe I just didn't update my turn last prayed successfully, but it seems like we're 3,000 turns, almost 3,000 turns past the time we last prayed. So the 95% confidence is when the god is pleased, which I'm assuming our god is 1,200 turns. Yeah, I don't know what to say about that. But basically, yes, it's very complicated. And I've been missing all of these chats. I don't know how long that's been going on, but I forgot to pop out my chat and put it below my screen. Welcome, Finitely Craig and Luxydream. Turn the bot on, unless it's died, of course. So I have to go to your channel and invite it. Reflection for Sokoban, but you've got stealth to murder the zoo in its sleep. Good point. Timeout increases when gifted an artifact for each previously gifted artifact. And then Unconquered's here. Welcome. So I got some messages here to catch up on. Sorry, people, I missed. Hopefully you're still here. Looks like maybe Finitely Craig may have gone to sleep though. Yeah, so that's a really good point about Sokoban. Our previous characters who died were not stealthy as far as I know. So they were just murdered by a soldier or an elf in those two cases with wands. If we can sneak up on the soldiers or elves and kill them in their sleep, then I guess we're probably fine. And then because we've been gifted 3 artifacts so far, I don't know if spellbooks also count. That's probably why our timeout is so long right now. Yeah, I'm going to probably end up heading to Sokoban pretty soon here. I'm just worried about, heavy melee creatures dealing damage to us at this point. Or just random characters, random monsters with wands. We haven't been using our sleep spell. So, I have to keep in mind that we have that available to us. Our retention is very low currently. So we'll have to reread that at some point. But many of the more powerful melee creatures are susceptible to sleep. Okay, just a gnomish wizard. Nothing to worry about too much. The damage spell that they cast can do quite a bit of damage if you're not resistant. So this is what? Monster Taming, Amnesia, or Earth. We don't want to read test that one. Amnesia is one of the ones you definitely do not want to get hit by. You'll lose all of your discoveries, or at least a large percentage of them. I think the next time I get a corpse, I was going to test this steel wand out. So we can play with this corpse, I think. This is an Etten. Yeah, they hit hard. So there's an Etten corpse in a doorway. So let's zap our steel wand in that direction. Nothing happened, so it shouldn't be undead turning. If we close this door and zap it, does anything happen? Nope, so it's not unlocking. Let me look at the list of what it could be. Let's see. So it's a directional, and it didn't self-identify. So what does that leave? It's not locking. Are we sure it's not opening? We're not sure if it's probing. So we can try it against a creature to see if it's probing. I think I'm basically down to probing or maybe opening. Reveals and unlocks hidden doors. It should open and close doors, right? Or they have to be locked. We'll just zap a creature with it, and we'll See if it's probing or not. Come on. I gotta wait for it. All right. Not probing. So we've eliminated most of the wands it could be. We've already identified nothing by price, and that's non-directional. We've eliminated locking. So opening, if opening doesn't work on closed doors, and I think I zapped it at a corpse, so undead turning should have figured that out. I feel like we're down to opening, but I'm a little not sure about how that works with the doors. Is this no, it's just an ape. Finally, our prayer timeout has elapsed. Another identify scroll. All right, how many identify scrolls do we have in here? We have 4, plus 1 more blessed, so I think we're at the point where we bless the stack of identify scrolls, take everything that's unidentified, and go down to the general store and just try and mass identify stuff. But let's pray and get unhungry first. Yeah, we're weak already. So let's pray. We hear divine music. So let's go ahead and put that in our run notes. I almost never use the drawbridge anyway, but if we want it, we know it. So let's grab anything we want to identify. Take the gold just in case there's something down there we really want to buy. So we want to identify these scrolls. Let's get all the identify scrolls as well. We can positively identify the see invisible or juice potion, which is you just need to identify it. I think there's no other way to identify it as far as I can tell. We want 1 potion of holy water. Do you want to identify these, that cancellation and speed wand? No, it's fine. That's it. If we can carry all of this. So we'll dip the identify scrolls into our potion of holy water. And we're going to head down to the store. There's a bunch of things there which we haven't identified as well, so might as well get the best. And I'm going to actually make a shortcut here, which I talked about doing, I think, last time. Gonna drop our pickaxe. We have to take off our robe and put on the mummy wrapping. And we'll go in here. We'll pick this up to identify it. And we'll pick up however much we can pick up that we want to identify here. So a couple more scrolls. Some potions. And that should be it. If we can carry all this. And that should be a bunch of stuff that will get identified for hopefully just a couple of these identify scrolls. All right, so let's just do the ring. Slow digestion, we're going to put that on right away and wear that for pretty much the rest of the game. That's actually a very good find. Let's look at this scroll. Oh, we identified genocide. Another useful one. And there we go. We identify everything with the second identify scroll. So gold detection, stinking cloud, destroy armor, confuse monster. Our darts are +1. Punishment, create monster. Potion of polymorph. Sort of interesting. Probably not for that price though. Sickness and what else? There's the fruit juice. Magic mapping. So I'm going to try and collect some magic mapping scrolls for Gehenna this time, just to make Lexi Dream happy. And it's a wand of opening, so it was a wand of opening after all. All right, so what do we leave here? What do we sell? Do we hang on to scrolls to blank and turn it to paper? I think we probably do. We're going to need 1,000,000 enchant armor scrolls to get our AC to any reasonable level. So I think we hang on to all of our scrolls and turn them into paper. We're not going to pay for these scrolls though. I'm not going to pay for fruit juice. We're going to actually sell fruit juice because it's just harder to dilute. I think we need to have a fountain or a rust trap to do it. I'd rather just use my wand of cancellation. We're not going to buy a cursed potion of polymorph. We're not going to buy sickness. And we're going to sell the wand of opening. And that should be it. And let's go ahead and put on the slow digestion ring. Fantastic find for a monk in particular. I'm very happy to have that. I can think about the genocide scroll as well. It may end up just being like another escape scroll. When we get into a situation where there's something that's about to kill us, we can just whip that scroll out and take care of it quickly. I'm going to put, do I want to just blank these right away? There's a bunch of things here which we just don't care about. So maybe make a pile of those and blank them with our cancellation wand. So like confuse monster, create monster, cursed scroll of create monster, destroy armor. To be honest, probably this cursed scroll of identify too. Punishment, stinging cloud, and cursed scroll of teleportation. Just gonna blank all those things. We'll blank this cursed potion of extra healing and the potion of speed. Put all that into a big pile. And we'll take out our cancellation wand and deal with them all at once. Let me just double check that there's no other scrolls or potions I do want to blank while I'm at it. Object detection, could probably blank that. The only thought I have about object detection would be vaults, finding vaults. We have clairvoyance for that, potentially. And it's just one potion, I mean. So I think we'll blank that as well. Take out this wand of cancellation too. Do we hang on to gold detection? I think we do, just for the portal at the end of the game. Though I have a few cursed potions of paper as well. I'm not sure if unholy water is more important than... No, I think probably the magic marker charges are more important than the holy water. Because I think we have some unholy water, so we can make more unholy water pretty easily. So we'll hang on to the gold detection scroll. All right, we'll zap all of that with cancellation. And we'll get a bunch of unlabeled scrolls and water. Just a few potions of water. And we'll put all that into our stash. Do I hang on to the genocide scroll? Very likely to get it burned without a bag. I think we take it with us down to Sokoban. Again, just to make it a little safer for us. But I think we put it away right now. And we put away the gold. And let's actually put our robe back on. And yeah, so even if our prayer timeout is much longer, due to the number of artifacts and spellbooks we've been granted, with slow digestion, we should be able to make this run as long as possible, just to infuriate Luxy Dream, who wants this to be a speed run. Some more paper. I actually, finally, Craig, I'm joking. I don't actually think they probably do infuriate him, but he's, for those who may not know, Luxy Dream streams, he's actually, I think, the current record holder for speedrunning Nethack. I believe that's true. And he hosts events on Twitch where they'll use a seed. So two people will be running the same dungeon, and they'll compete to see who can win first. So because my runs are so long, I just assume that he is just itching. He's like, you could have won by now. It's a very conservative player. And I think I'm going to continue doing that. It's been effective for me so far. And then once I've ascended each role at least once, then I'll start to think about trying to speedrun things. So I want this Yeti to come closer to the altar. They're very heavy. That's right, 5 out of 13. It's right there in the description. So I did not update we cannot pray. I didn't really update when I last prayed, so I'll just put it to the current turn. Getting sloppy here. I mean, there's just so much random chance in this game. So many things that can just end your game suddenly. You know, it's sort of like there's a risk-reward mechanic in terms of how deep you dive and how many chances you take. How do I delete the X there? I'm using, so this box over here is just, it's Vim, and I have a plugin for Vim called VimWiki. So it's VimWiki it's just like a little plugin for Vim. It lets you create links so you can go back and forth. And then it also handles things like lists. So like control space will toggle your lists. I was thinking about making like a little web app for this purpose, but then I was like, why do all that coding when I could just create a text document for it? And it just feels a little more appropriate for Nethack anyway. You go fast, you can start again sooner. That's how I play. That's why I never won the game for playing like 20 years. And you know, it's like, that's a totally fine way to play it too. Like I had fun sort of, you know, see how far you get this time. Oh, and yeah, your bot, right? I have to go to that Twitch channel and invite it, right? I was going to do that. I actually, you know, I'm not going to do it right now. And the reason is I actually need to get off probably next 5 or 10 minutes. So, but, why don't you tell me join? And I have to go to your channel, right? You know, I will do it, and I'm going to make a note of how to do it. We'll just test that it works too. So, is it on your, oh, I got it here. Is it this, it's channel. But what's the link to the channel? Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah, so I need to put this into my notes. I'm actually going to put it right into my text notes here, because otherwise I'll never remember to do it. I'll do it at the beginning of each episode if you don't mind. That's me join like that, right? And we'll go ahead and do that. And invite, or join rather. So did that work is a question. If it did, we would be like, I forget the commands. Something like wand message. Oh, okay, it's working. Nice. And I'm actually going to take note of some of these commands too. So the question mark plus an item. Can you do like nice. Oh yeah, like a man command. Cool. Yeah, so wand ID. Scroll ID. Nice. Yeah, and you just have to let me know if you're using the bot currently. If it's like a limited resource or only one person can use it at a time, then when I'm streaming, I don't want to prevent other people from using it. Yeah, I think that's really a cool project. So this seems like a reasonably good place to stop. Actually, let me get safe to pray if I can. I like to end with being able to pray, if I possibly can. Maximum number of concurrent Nethack streamers. So that's assuming that that's going to be an issue. All those Nethack streamers. When there's, hundreds of Nethack streamers, it's going to be a problem. I think there's just 3 or 4 people who stream Nethack as far as I know. I could be wrong. I'm actually, if anybody knows of people who stream Nethack, please put them in the comments and I will follow them. I follow the category already. Once 3 of you on, wow. Is that including me? Or is that before I joined the scene, as it were? You're doing the good work. I was actually watching a bit of your new player stream where you're teaching someone how to play. It's such a hard game to get into. All right, so we can safely pray. Actually, I probably will. I'm gonna make my dinner, and I'll probably watch some more of that stream while I'm cooking. Yeah, Jeffy. Cool. Yeah, actually, I'll go and I'll just follow all these people. Very interested to see other Nethack streamers and how they play. But now we can safely pray. So I think this is a good point for me to just save and come back to it later. I'm gonna go start making dinner, do other things, and I'll probably be back. I mean, maybe tonight, but more likely Tuesday or Wednesday of the upcoming week. So thank you everybody for joining me, and hope to see you again soon.